What is up mga biso? Example number 2 na po tayo sa ating deflection of beams using the double integration method. Let's go! Alright, so hi guys, ayan. Andito yung ating example number 2 ngayon. So this is the beam that we are going to solve. Okay, so let's start, no? Ayan. So first, we have here the problem. Sabi dito, we need to determine the slope at B and the displacement at C. Okay, so when this beam is subjected to this type of loading, we expect that the deflection would look something like this, no? Yung pagbe-bend niya. Parang medyo symmetrical din naman. Kung makikita natin, no, symmetrical yung loading tsaka yung geometrical properties supports. So we expect, no, maging symmetrical yung deflection from here sa sentro. So parehas dito tsaka doon. Now, yung unang pinahanap is yung slope at B. So where's B? Ito. So to find the slope here, we just visualize it na may tangent line sa point B na yan. So yan, ito yung slope natin, guys. Okay. Now, we need to solve for the slope of that at point B or the tangent line. And then also pinapahanap niya kung ano yung displacement dito sa C. Ayan. Displacement or the deflection, yung Y na to. Okay, so that's what we are tasked to find for this problem. Now, let's continue. Sabi dito, the member is an A36 steel structural T for which I, or the moment of inertia, is given as 76.8 inches to the 4th power. Now, in this case, hindi given yung ating E, no? Or the modulus of elasticity. However, this is a standard member which is an A-36. So, ginugol ko na lang. Ang lumabas, ito, sabi niya, ang kaniyang modulus of elasticity is nasa 200 gigapascal. But if you would try to look at our problem, yung I na kasi is naka-inches or naka-English system, right? Diba? English ako. Tama, naka-English system siya. So, we use the English system which is at ito, 29,000 KSI. That's the E or the modulus of elasticity of an A36 steel. Now, let's go back, no, to the problem. Let's start. How are we going to start this problem? I think we need to write first the formula. That's the first step. I-analyze natin kung anong meron tsaka anong wala. So, y double prime is equal to m over ei, di ba? Now, our E is given na, di ba? Sabi ko kanina, ang E natin from this Google search is 29,000 KSI. E is 29,000 KSI and our I, or the moment of inertia, is 76.8 inches to the 4th power. Right? Now, given na yung E tsaka yung I natin, now we need to solve for M, or the moment equation. So, how are we going to do that? Well, first, we need to start here analyzing the beam. No? Kailangan natin hanapin kung ano yung mga magnitude ng mga reactions na to, yung mga support na to. Okay, so we need to solve for RA and RB. So, never mind the horizontal. Focus lang tayo sa vertical kasi it's that all that matters for deflection, I think. Yeah. So, yan. How do we start with this? So, makita natin, it's an symmetrical beam, no? So, kunin na lang natin yung summation ng pababa, i-distribute natin sa A and B. They will have equal. Or if you want, you do summation forces vertical, summation moments, B, summation moments, A, or any equilibrium equations. Pwede yan, guys. Okay? So, makita natin, meron tayo ditong UDL, distributed load, with the magnitude of 1.5, right? So, kapag i-convert natin to sa point load, yan ay magiging 1.5, di ba? 1.5 times the length which is wherein kung saan siya nag-a-act, di ba? Which is that 6 feet. So, 1.5 times 6 is like 9, di ba? Yan. So, 9 kips. So, at this point, sa sentro na to, pag kinonvert natin sa point load, dito yung location niya kasi ang centroid ng rectangle ay sa sentro. Diba? So, ito magiging 9 kip. Okay. So, bale, ang total ng mga forces na pababa ay 9 kip tsaka 5 kip. So, 9 plus 5 is 14. Tama ba? So, distribute natin yung 14 sa dalawa. Magiging 7 kip to. 7 keep. Ayan, 7 keep. Tapos ito, 7 keep pa rin. Ayan. So, sabi ko nga, if you want to have a more detailed solution ngayon, mag-summation equilibrium equations tayo. So, yun. Ginawa ko lang to para medyo malinis yung papel natin. Baka magulo-gulo eh. Now, after knowing our reactions, no, we will do a cut section right here. Diba? Dito sa rightmost, just before this roller support. Okay, palagi yan. Dapat naka-include lahat sa left. So, I will draw the free body diagram ng pinutol natin na yan. Oops. Bakit hindi siya straight? Ayan, kunwari. Boom. Okay. So, yun yung pinutol natin, no? Pak! Naputol. So, lagari. Ay, hindi Kapag lagari, dapat straight to. Ayan. Okay. Now, ilagay na natin yung mga loadings na to. Meron tayo ditong 7 keep. Tapos, dito, meron tayong, unahin muna natin yung UDL na yan. Dito, meron tayo ditong UDL, right? And, yan. UDL yan. Oops, papak. Okay na. Ang magnitude is 1.5 key per foot. And then, at this portion, meron tayo ditong point load na 5 key. Okay. Now, isi-set natin that this whole length, kasi nga hindi natin alam to pinutol lang natin. This length will be the variable x. Okay, tapos, ano pa ba yung ibang dimension dito? Ito, alam natin that from that 5 key pupunta sa leftmost, alam natin that this length is 3 feet. Okay, so, with that being said, no, pwede na tayo mag-proceed sa pagsulat ng ating moment equation. So, how are we going to do that? Well, assumptions natin, clockwise moments are positive, counterclockwise are negative. And always, ito yung magiging pivot point natin, parang reference point niya. Okay, so start tayo dito sa 7 keep. If you try to notice, this 7 keep will create a clockwise moment. Ikot siya pag ganun, no? So, of course, clockwise, positive. Now, what is the perpendicular distance papunta dito sa ating, ang tawag dito? Papunta dito sa ating pivot point. That's x, right? Okay, 7x. Now, okay, next. Meron tayo dito ang distributed load. Itong distributed load natin, it will create a counterclockwise moment kasi ipupush niyang pag ganun di ba? Bang, 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 bang. Ayun, umikot siyang pag ganun. So, it would be negative. Now, ano yung converted point load ng ating UDL? Ano yung total point load niya, kumbaga? So, how do we do that? Para katulad ginawa natin dito, that's just 1.5 times the length where it is acting, which is 6, di ba? Kaya 1.5 times 6, kaya nakuha natin yung 9 kanina dito. However, dito, ang length natin ngayon is x. So, we will just do 1.5 times x. And that 1.5 times x is located sa sentro ng dalawang to. So, let's say, andyan. This is 1.5x, di ba? Kasi 1.5 times x. Parang yung red na to, yung red na point load, ito yung converted point load from this UDL. Now, since we are writing its moment, we need to multiply its perpendicular distance towards our pivot point. This, okay? So, ano yung length na to? What is this length? That length, mga bis, is x over 2. Bakit? Kasi, di ba, yung buong length na to is x, do daga-act yung ating distributed load. So, since rectangle naman siya, uniform load, then we expect that the converted point load would be located at the center of that length. So, x divided by 2 siya. Okay, so, aside dito, we multiply the perpendicular distance, x over 2. Okay, now, let's proceed mga bis. Meron pa tayo dito 5 keep the force, di ba? Remember? So, that 5 keep force will create a counterclockwise moment also. Ikot siya pag gano'n. That means this will also be negative. So, negative 5. And then, kailangan natin multiply yung distance dito, di ba? Yan. Ito yung 5 keep force natin. Kailangan natin multiply ano yung perpendicular distance na papunta dito sa ating pivot point. So, this distance is x minus 3. Bakit? Kasi this length is 3 and this total length is x. So, to get this remaining length, that would just be x, then subtract this 3. So, x minus 3. Doon po yung galing. Ayun. So, x minus 3. So, basically, ito na po yung ating moment equation, mga bis, no? 7x minus 1.5x squared over 2 minus 5x minus 3. Okay. So, check na yung E, check na yung I, check na yung M. So, we can now proceed in integrating, in the double integration method proper. Yung para ganon. Okay? So, ayan. Let me just rewrite this equation. EIY. Ito, nilipat ko lang sa kabilang side. Okay, let's continue. Let's do first integration. Okay? Kasi nga double integration method, di ba? So, integrating that, itong EI natin, constant yan. So, parang nilabas lang yan. Nothing will happen. Itong Y double prime natin, since we are integrating it in terms of X, magiging Y prime na lang siya. Di ba? And then, we continue. Itong 7X natin, magiging 7X. Bagaan tayo ng exponent na 1. So, magiging 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. And don't forget, lagay sa denominator, minus 0.75x plus 1 tayo. So, 2 plus 1 is 3 divided by 3 minus 5. Itong x minus 3 natin magabis, treat that as like a single x. Parang isang ano siya. Okay, parang x, parang iisa siya. Okay, so, parang buo siya na x. Yes, yun. Parang ganon. So, itong x minus 3, ang exponent niya dito is 1, diba? So, we just add plus 1. So, magiging 2. Don't forget, ilagay natin sa denominator kung ano yung nilagay natin na exponent dito. Ayan. So, since we are integrating, don't forget, you will need to include an arbitrary constant, C1. Alright. So, this will be our deflection equation. But, let me just, tawag dito, simplify it para mas magandang tignan. So, ito, 7 divided by 2 mga bis is like 3.5 x squared minus 0.75 divided by 3 is 0.25, diba? I think tama. Ayun, minus 5. Okay, i-simplify ko na lang to. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5 x minus 3 squared plus C1. So, ito yung ating deflection equation. Now, mga bis, no? Sa ating problem, kung makita nyo, kapag ang hinahanap natin is both slope and displacement. So, we also need to solve for the displacement or the deflection equation. Kasi ito, slope equation na natin to eh. So, we need to turn y prime into y to get our deflection equation because y prime is slope or dy over dx or rise over run. Right? So, ito, integrate ulit natin yan. So, bale, dalawang beses, di ba? Kaya nga double integration. So, ito, parang ano lang yan, katulad ng dati. O, diba? Katulad ng dati. Y prime, magiging y na lang yan. Ito, 3.5x, magpa-plus 1 times exponent, 3 over 3, minus 0.25x to the 4th over 4, minus ito, 2.5x minus 3 squared over joke lang, 2 plus 1 is 3. So, magiging 3 to. Ito, magiging 3. Plus, yung C1, magiging C1x. Mag-add tayo ng isang another arbitrary constant. Kasi nga, nag-integrate ulit tayo. So, bali, ito na yung ating deflection equation. However, before we can proceed solving these unknowns, no? Slope at B, displacement at C, we need to solve the values of these arbitrary constants. Ano yung value ng C1? Ano yung value ng C2? And how are we going to do that? Well, we use boundary conditions. Boundary conditions, meaning, ano yung mga initial na alam na natin? Ano yung mga, without doing any calculations, no, by simply analyzing the beam, ano yung mga alam natin na values ng deflection? Ano yung mga alam natin na values ng slope? Okay? So, dito, starting at C1, no? If we will use this slope equation, ang kailangan natin na sa slope and a value of x. So, that C1 na lang yung matitira. And looking at our beam, ano ba yung alam natin na value ng slope? Alam natin mga bis na at maximum deflection, di ba? At max def, slope is 0. So dito sa ating beam, saan ba malulukit dyan yung maximum deflection? It is here at the center. Bakit? We can conclude that the maximum deflection is at the center simply because our beam is symmetrical. Symmetrical yung loading, yung supports, and then yung geometrical properties ng ating beam. So, we know that when at x is equal to 3, diba? Kasi ito, that's the x value. When x is equal to 3, then we expect that the slope or the y prime, that's dy over dx, is equal to 0. Kasi when the deflection is looking like that, the here, ano tawag dito? The slope here, the tangent line here looks like horizontal. That's why the slope is 0. Okay? So, we will use that boundary condition to solve for C1. Let's G. So, at C1, at X is equal to 3, slope is equal to 0. So, substitute natin to sa ating deflection equation. And we will solve for C1. Okay? So, ito, mga bis, slope natin, EI, times the Y prime, which is 0. And then, we have here 3.5. Ang X natin is 3. 3 squared minus 0.25. 3 cube minus 2.5. X is 3 minus 3 squared plus C1. Okay, so makita natin, we can cancel that. Ito, 3 minus 3 is 0, so cancel that term. We can solve for C1. C1 is basically, hindi na kaya ng utak ko. Nasaan na yung calculator? Yun, okay na yun. Magiging 24.75. Pero, siya? Negative. Kasi, ililipat sa kabilang side eh. Negative 24.75. I think I got it right. Yeah. So, that's the value of our C1. Now, continuing, dito sa ating C2. To solve for C2, we need to use this deflection equation. We need to have a value of Y and X. And when we have that, we can solve for C2. Now, dito sa ating beam, what do we know about deflections here? Alam natin, no, that at supports, at any type of support, no, there is no deflection. Which means that at point A and at point B, your deflection there is 0. So, when X is equal to 0, di ba kasi dito yung X 0, your Y is also equal to 0. Same likewise dito sa dulo, when your X is equal to 6, tama ba? 3 plus 3, 6. Your Y is equal to 0 also. So, with that given said, you can use either of the two. And pili tayo. Of course, we pili yung 0, 0. Mas madali, di ba? It will still give you the same value of C2. So, ayan. Sulat natin dito. At X is equal to 0, Y is equal to 0. So, gamitin natin yung ating sa dito. Deflection equation dito. So, Y is 0. So, EI times 0. 3.5 over 3. Ano yung X natin? 0 pala. So, never mind. It will just be 0. So, ito, plug in natin yung X na 0 dito. Magiging 0 din dyan kasi 0 times 3.5 is 0. Minus ito, 0 din dyan. Diba? Okay. Minus ito. Makikita natin, that's 2.5. 0 minus 3 over 3 cube. Plus, ano yung C1 natin? Negative pala yan. Yung C1 natin is negative 24.75 X. And your X is 0. Ayun. So, 0 rin. Ay, minus 0. Minus 0 plus C2. Okay. Now, dito mga bis, we have here a term which is a negative, di ba? If you remember, if we have X minus A is lesser than 0, or when this is negative, the term inside this parenthesis is negative, then we will reject that term. Parang ika-cancel na lang natin. That's basing on Macaulay's principle or Macaulay's method. Okay? So, kapag nag-negative yan, mga bis, since 0 minus 3 is negative 3, di ba? Then, it means that we will cancel it out. Do not include it to the equation. Parang magiging 0 na lang siya. Okay? So, ayan. Take note of that. Well, kapag positive naman, well, you include it. For example, for minus 3 yan, then positive 1. So, include it. Huwag nyo i-cancel. Pero in this case, negative 0 minus 3. So, tanggal. Okay? Now, with that given said, mga bis, no, we know that ito cancel 0, 0, 0. C2 is basically 0. Okay, so itong C1 natin is negative 24.75 and itong C2 natin is 0. Okay, so erase ko lang muna to para magkaroon tayo ng space. Okay, so kapag medyo magulo na, bigyan mo ng space. Tips from Javi TV. Let's go. Okay. Ngayon, nasa na tayo pala? Mahugot-hugot ka. Hindi mo na alam kung nasan ka. Okay. Wait. Ayun. Diba? Na-solve na natin yung deflection equation. Ayun, okay na. Diba? So, i-write ko lang yung deflection equation natin para mas malinis tignan. Yan. Y is equal to 3.5 divided by 3. Hindi ba ito? 24.75x plus C2 which is 0. So, never mind. Do not include. Now, itong EI natin, ipailalim natin sa denominator. Parang transfer lang natin sa kabila ulit. EI. So, ano pala yung value ng ating EI? Okay, so our E here is 29,000 KSI. 29,000 KSI, and the value of our I, or the moment of inertia, is 76.8 inches to the fourth power. 76.8 inches to the fourth power. Okay. Now, before we can proceed, no, we need to make sure that our units are the same. Okay? Dito sa ating taas, dito sa moment equation natin, ano ba yung mga ginamit nating units dito? Di ba yan, dito yan galing. So, yung mga ginamit natin dyan is it keeps, and in terms of force, keeps. In terms of distances, we use we use foot, right? So, dapat dito, di ba? Yung ginamit natin dito is keeps as a force, and foot for distances. So, dapat sa baba rin, dapat we need to convert this units in keep, the forces in foot, the forces in keeps or kilopounds, and the distances into English, the distances into feet. Okay, so how are we going to do that? Analyze natin little by little. Yung KSI natin is like 1 KSI is kilo, di ba? 1 KSI is like 1,000 like 1,000, di ba? Kasi kilopounds 1,000 pounds per square inch. Okay, pero kung makita natin yung kailangan na force is in keeps, right? And we know that 1 keep is equal yan mga bisa 1,000 pounds. So, this can be also simplified as 1 keep. Kasi 1 keep is kilopounds divided by, tama ba? Oo, tama ata. Divided by inches square. Okay, so we can use this conversion mga bis, no? So, lalagay ko na lang dito. Parenthesis muna natin yan. Lagay ko dito. We know that 1 keep per inches square is equal yan mga bisa 1 KSI. So, ito, we can cancel KSI and KSI. Now, kung makita natin mga bis, okay na yung force natin, naka-keep na siya. However, our units in distance is in inches, naka-inches. So, dapat fit siya para parehas. So, we need to simplify this further. Magka-cancel yung inches squared. Yung inches to the fourth power na to, magiging 2 na lang yan. So, converting that into, into foot, we know that 1 foot is 12 inches. So, we need to square that since naka-square naman yan. With that given said, we can finally solve for our deflection equation. But before that, I think simplify ko muna to para malinis. Ayan. And so, simplifying this, parang ano na lang siya, no? 29,000 times 76.8 tapos divided by 144, 'di ba? Kasi 12 square. Ayun. And remember, ang magiging answer natin dito is in foot, 'di ba? Tama ba? Yes, naka-foot siya kasi foot. Okay, tama, feet. Ayun. Now, this is our deflection equation. Okay? This is our deflection equation. Kung makikita natin mga bis, no? Tinatanong niya rin dito yung slope. So, let us first rewrite the slope equation para malinis tignan. This is our slope equation, by the way, di ba? Slope equation. So, i-rewrite ko lang to sa baba para malinis. Kasi yung kailangan kasi natin dito is the slope at B. So, a displacement or deflection at C. So, we both need the slope equation and deflection equation. So, this is the deflection equation. For the slope equation, y prime, ito, yun, y prime, ililipat ko lang siya sa baba, magiging, 3.5, wait, para makopya ko siya, yan, y prime is equal to 3.5 x squared minus 0.25 x cubed minus 2.5 x minus 3 squared plus C1. Tama ba? Yes, I think so. Plus C1. Yeah. And our value of C1 is, yan, given pala yung C1 natin, which is, na-solve na natin, negative 24.75. Oops, dapat green. So, ito mga bis, this is our what do you call this? Slope equation. And this mga Bs is divided by the same. Ayan, parehas rin lang yung analysis natin. 76.8 divided by 144. Ang magiging sagot natin dito mga Bs is in radians. Okay? Yun yung how do you call this? Parang yun na yung doon na-design yung formula na to na radians. Okay? Naka-rads siya. Yun. Yeah, rads to eh. Now, we have both our deflection equation and our slope equation. So, we can now simply solve at any deflection or slope that we want. For example, if you want to solve the deflection here at C and the slope equation, we know that the value of x here at point C is 3. Diba? So, we just need to change this x's with 3, then we can get our slope and the deflection. If you want here at, for example, dito sa point na to, let's say the x here is like 3 to, so let's say 4.5. Palitan lang natin to. Yung mga x na to ng 4.5 and we will get the value of the deflection and slope at that certain point. However, let's stick with what is unknown. First, what is the slope at B? Okay, so to determine the slope at B, no, I will just copy this slope equation. Oops. Yan, kunin natin to. Ilipat ko lang sa kabilang dulo. Yan. Yan. Yun yung hinanap natin. Okay. So, going back to the question, what is the slope at B? So, saan ba yung point B, guys? Ang point B natin is dito sa dulo, di ba? Dito sa dulo yung point B natin. Which means that at point B, our x is equal to this total length, which is 6, di ba? X here would be equal to 6 kasi we are looking at point B. So, when our x is equals to 6, what is the value of our slope? Yun yung tinatanong niya dito. So, going back to our slope equation, kasi yung slope yung hinahanap, ito yan. We just need to substitute the x with 6. Okay, so let's do that. Ito magiging 3.5 times 6 squared minus 0.25. 6 cubed minus 2.5, 6 minus 3 squared minus 24.75 divided by, we have here 29,076.8 divided by 144. Okay, so that's it mga bis, no? Calculate na lang natin yan, and that will be the y prime or the slope that is just same at point B. Yan, lagay natin na lang yan, point B. Okay, so after inputting this to our calculator, ang ating sagot po ay 1.600, ilang 0 to? Dalawa. 600215517 times 10 raised to negative 3. And again, sabi ko nga, ang magiging unit nito is in rads. Okay, so let's check our answer. Ayun, 0.00. Uy, mali. Hindi. Tama, 0.00. Ayun. Tama. Naka-ano lang ako, naka-exponential. 001. Okay, so kapag 001 yun, kapag 001, tama. 1, 2, hindi, mali, JB. Kapag naka-exponent to, 1, 2, 3. So, dalawang 0, no? Tama ba? Ayun, tama. 001 rad. Okay, so ayun. That's it, guys, no? Y is equal to 1.6 times 10 raised to negative 3 or 0.0016 rads. Okay, so ayan. Ito yung ating answer. So if the required, for example, sa problem ninyo or yung sinusolve is in degrees, then just convert rads into degrees. Now, let's proceed to our second unknown. Sabi dito, displacement and C. Okay? Displacement dito sa C. What is the deflection here at C? Now, this point C, at point C, our x value there, di ba? At C, our x value is 3. So, we are tasked to find the y or the deflection. So, we use the deflection equation. Ito, di ba? So, basically, y max is equal to, I put y max because I know that the beam symmetrical. Ibig sabihin, alam natin mga bis na yung maximum deflection will occur here at the center or at point C. So, nilagay ko lang na Y max or YC or YC. Same lang yun. So, palitan lang natin yung mga X natin na 3, di ba? So, 3.5 over 3 times 3 cube minus 0.25 over 4. 3 raised to the 4th power minus saan na tayo? 2.5x minus 3 over 3 minus 24.75x to raised to the 3rd power. Okay. So, divided by wow. Ano to, bird? Okay, divided by 29,000 76.8 divided by 144. Ayun guys. So, calculator na lang ulit natin yan. Hopefully, we get the correct answer, no? 3.5 over 3 times 3, ano yan, cube. Tapos, minus 0.25 times 3 to the 4th power divided by 4 minus 2.5 times x. Oh, wait, di ko to pinalitan. Ang x natin dito is 3, di ba? So, 3 minus 3 is 0. So, cancel that out. Okay, itong x na to, this is 3. Ay, bakit hindi ko to sinulat? 0.75 times 3. So, negative 3.09 times 10 raised to negative 3 feet. Okay, so convert natin yan sa decimal. Magiging move 3 decimal places. Negative 0.123, diba? 12309 feet. So, yan guys. Ito yung sagot natin. Negative answer indicates that our deflection is downwards. Pababa siya. Which is correct naman for this case. Okay? So, check natin. Wait. It's 371. Bakit? Yun, naka-inches. Naka-inches ulit. So, convert natin to sa inches. So, kapag feet yan, magiging ano lang yun, diba? 1 feet is 12 inches. So, times 12 lang. Times 12, yun. Tama. Or, equal to negative 0.03709 inches. So, ayan. Parehas naman. Ay, hindi pala iba. Ito yung answer in feet. Ito yung answer in inches. So, answer, 371. Round off. Okay? So, ayun mga bis, no? That's how we solve that. Again, remember, this negative sign will indicate if your deflection is pababa or pataas. And it's also a kind of way of checking if nasa tamang landas tayo. And ayan, this is the slope at B. Yeah. And this is the deflection at C or the Y max also. So, that's it mga bis. If you have some questions in mind, clarifications, don't hesitate to comment down below. No? Mas lalo kapag may mga mali-mali ako sinasabi dito. Pag-correct pa ako sa baba. I will be very happy to see your comments. Okay? So, that's it mga bis. Please like, share, and subscribe. Muli, ako yung bubuhay na nagpapala sa inyo. Maglakbay, magdyo, magdurog na liksik. Maging matinik. Joby out.